Howdy folks, I'm Classy Centaurus, curiously celebrating classic centennials.
I'm Amber.
And here are more classic centennials for us centaurs to celebrate, because we are half horse, half man, but we have two hearts. Let's get started. Well, because I have a heart up here, and then the horse has a heart in its horse body. Because the centaur is just the neck part, right?
Yeah.
So, two hearts.
Never really considered the anatomy of a centaur.
Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Pay Rent When I Am Living at My Daughter's Place for a Month? My daughter Kelly is having her first baby. Sadly, the husband isn't able to get any time off to help when the baby is born. Kelly has expressed that it feels like she will be a single mom since her husband will be traveling while she is on maternity leave. He will be home sometime, but for the most part, Kelly is on her own for the first month. She asked if I would be willing to help. I live 5 hours away, and I informed her that I will have to stay over, and traveling that much is a lot. She said that I could stay for a month at the home and help out, and I agreed. The baby is due in a few weeks. I was informed today that I will need to pay rent since I am living in the home for a month. I told her that I'm not doing that. I am already doing her a huge favor, and I am not paying money on top of it. This resulted in an argument. She thinks that I am being a jerk for not helping with the bills, and I think that she is being unreasonable. I have expressed that I will not be staying over now, and she is on her own. She thinks that I am being a petty jerk for this also. Am I the jerk? Alright folks, what do you think?
Definitely not the jerk, but here's what you can do. Look up how much it costs to have someone helping with childcare and cooking and whatever else you'd be doing for her while she's recovering. And be like, okay, I'll pay you rent if you pay me this for being your live-in help for this amount of time.
Yeah, your itemized bill. your invoice here. Give her an invoice.
Just show her how ridiculous she is being. It is absurd. You are doing her an enormous favor by offering to help with childcare and housekeeping while she's recovering.
Yeah.
And for her to be like, well, now you have to pay me rent. It makes no sense.
No, it really doesn't make any sense. And the only way it would make sense is if OP was going over to her house to mooch for the next month, right?
Right, yeah, OP's just sitting there doing nothing the entire time.
She has the baby and OP's like, yeah, I'm expecting full service here. But, I mean, that's not the case. OP is going over there to help. They're trying to lessen the burden on someone, and you can't expect someone to pay on top of that, right?
Well, and the audacity, too, of, she was even the one who suggested, oh, hey, Mom, can you help? And OP's like, yeah, okay, I'll help. And then she's like, oh, by the way, you're paying me rent.
Mm-hmm. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Fragrant Economist 386 says, not the jerk. If you are to pay rent, then you must also be paid wages for your work. Edit to add, second thought. Are you sure that your daughter and her spouse really want you there? Their demand for rent sounds like they don't. And OP replies, she invited me and now is mad that I'm not coming. I'm fine with not helping them. Seriously, I don't think anyone wants to spend a month sleep deprived and doing chores all the time. Yeah, I mean, she's acting like this is a vacation for OP. And Meow says, info. Do you think perhaps that the husband doesn't want you there and is the one who imposed this new condition? Perhaps suggest your daughter come and stay with you for the first month. And OP replies, then she needs to deal with her husband. Also, the other option won't work and I don't even want to do that. I mean, I can't blame OP. Mm-hmm. But who also wants to travel with a less than month-year-old child, right?
Mm-hmm.
5-hour trip with a infant that small on your own? That is not going to be a pleasant 5-hour drive, right? All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for yelling at my wife for firing our babysitter and making her cry because she called an ambulance? Hello, Reddit. I have just downloaded Reddit because my niece said that I should post the story on Am I the Jerk board, so here I am. I'm not very good with technology, so forgive me. But I'll probably be messing this whole post up. So basically, here's what happened. Me and my wife hired a babysitter who we've been going to for years. We have 2 sons and a daughter, and we've been hiring her since my oldest was a baby. Though it's mostly her mom looking after the baby while she was helping, so we gave her a couple of dollars for that. She is now 16 and can look after the kids all on her own, and my oldest two love her. My youngest is only 7 months, so I'm not sure that he really gets it yet, but he seems relatively happy when he's with her. Well, this Friday, my kids' daycare has been closed for renovations, and Daisy, our babysitter, has kindly offered to take care of them after school from 3:30 to 6. I get home from work at 6, and my wife gets home at 5:30. However, I got home early from work at half 5. When I got home, I found that my wife was yelling at Daisy, while Daisy was just sobbing and apologizing. I asked my wife what was going on, and all she did was start yelling that Daisy had cost us a bunch of money. My first thought was that she had broken something, but my wife wasn't telling me what it was. She told Daisy that she wouldn't be paying her for her time and to get out of our house and never come back or she would call the police. Daisy then ran out crying, and I let my wife calm down while I comforted the kids. They were all crying in a different room while my wife was yelling at Daisy. When everything had calmed down, I got the full story from my wife. So here's what happened. My mother had been looking after the kids until 3:30 when we were at work. This was Daisy's first time looking after my youngest son, though we knew that we could trust her with the babies since she's looked after my daughter alone when she was a baby. Something important that you should know about my youngest is that he has breath-holding episodes, which occur when he gets frustrated or is in pain, and he will just hold his breath. To stop them, you just have to blow on the baby's face, and they will just snap out of it on their own. They're completely normal and relatively safe in babies. However, the episodes can sometimes cause passing out and blueness, and it's normal, and he usually wakes up within a few seconds. To cut a long story short, my mom forgot to tell Daisy what to do when that happens. And when my son passed out, Daisy panicked and then called 911, and then she called my wife. My wife is now angry that Daisy called 911 for nothing and has now wasted our money on an ambulance ride. Me and my wife are now arguing because I think that Daisy did the right thing, but my wife doesn't. Yesterday, we got into a heated argument. We both said some hurtful stuff, and she is now staying at her mother's for a few days while she thinks over my priorities in the relationship. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
No, definitely not the jerk. Now, the wife is a major jerk here, and honestly, I feel so bad for the poor babysitter. That was a vital piece of information that the babysitter needed to know up front. This is a 16-year-old child who was watching your kid. That must have been so stressful for her to see the baby pass out, think the baby is dying on her watch. She calls an ambulance, and then your wife comes home and just yells at her.
Yeah, yells at her.
I understand it costs money and that the American healthcare system is not good for that. That should not be an issue. You shouldn't have to worry about losing money for life-saving medical care.
Yeah.
But it is much better to have a babysitter who is attentive and notices when it looks like your kid's dying than when you just, kid's dying, whatever.
Yeah, but also, I don't even know if this would cost them anything for if the baby didn't go to the hospital. So if the ambulance just came there and they checked the baby over and everything was fine, then they might have not actually charged for that.
Oh yeah, they don't charge. It's only if you're transported to the ambulance.
So yeah, I don't know that OP is wrong here. I mean, I think that them both yelling isn't very good. I think that yelling at your wife, wife yelling at the kid, that's all not very good. And certainly, I understand the frustration in the moment, but it kind of shows you maybe the environment in the house isn't necessarily the best.
Yeah, well, and why is this the hill that the wife wants to die on? I understand the initial frustration. I do not understand yelling at a child for doing the right thing. And it's inexcusable no matter how you slice it. But she's had time to cool down, and she still thinks she's in the right.
Yeah.
And that baffles me. I would have some serious conversations with her about why she thinks it's right to berate someone who is just trying to save your child's life. And
yeah.
Going forward, you need a policy for what happens with babysitters. I don't know if you can trust your wife to handle babysitters in the future. If she's going to freak out when it looks like your kid is dying, what if the kid falls and breaks an arm? What is the policy going forward? You need to have something that you and any future babysitters are all very clear on if you want to stay in a relationship with the wife. Honestly, if she's this insistent that this is right and she has no respect for this poor girl and isn't willing to get down on her knees and apologize and be I was so wrong, I can see why you'd not want to be in that relationship anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, this sounds like it was relatively fresh, so it may just be that she still kind of dug her heels in and give it a day or two, and she'll realize that she wasn't in the right here. Because sometimes it takes people a little bit of time to kind of de-escalate and really think things over and be like, do I really object to her calling the ambulance on my child who was turning blue, right? And then also things like if they don't get charged for the ambulance bill, then that might make her kind of be like even more, oh, I was really in the wrong here. I shouldn't have yelled at her. So I think that over time there's going to be hopefully that realization that she's in the wrong. I'm not justifying it, mind you. I think she's in the wrong. Especially if she knows that these episodes happen.
Well, it seems like it's become so commonplace to her that she's like, how could you not know that babies just turn blue in the face and it's normal? Like, I didn't know that. I would be really, really upset if I saw a kid, like, turning blue on my watch.
Yeah, did they not call the ambulance the first time this happened? But I can't imagine being even a parent and thinking, this is fine. At least not the first time I see it.
Well, that's exactly it. Like, that raises the question of what did they do the first time?
Yeah. So I think there's a lot wrong in this household that's going on. Probably more than what OP is, we can even see here at the surface level. I think that it's probably beyond Retta's pay grade at this point in time. The family needs family counseling or financial counseling, or the wife needs individual counseling. A lot going on here. Maybe some counseling if they can afford a counseling. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Today I Messed Up by Naming Our Cat Chairman Meow and Becoming the Talk of the Town. After moving to a more conservative area, my boyfriend and I decided to adopt a cat. In a fit of amusement, we gave our furry ruler the moniker of Chairman Meow, assuming it would be a light-hearted jest. When our names were called in front of a packed waiting room at our veterinarian visit in our new town, we were well known right away. There was an almost tangible air of judgment, and the quiet was deafening. It has been, to put it mildly, strange trying to navigate this close-knit conservative neighborhood with a cat named for a communist leader. Not only did our attempt at comedy miss the mark, it failed miserably. Since then, we've spoken about renaming him to help reduce the stress, but it turns out it's a lengthy process that involves paperwork, during which time our reputations continue to stew in obscurity. The veterinarian's affiliation with the neighborhood pet organization did not assist, as rumors about our joke spread fast. We are now known as the ones with the communist cat, a reputation that is difficult to shed at social functions and informally in the neighborhood. All right, folks, what do you think of this story?
I mean, it's unfortunate that the neighbors are so uptight about the cat's name. Like, it's just obviously meant in jest. The cat is not like the reincarnation of a dictatorial leader going around the neighborhood, like murdering people or something.
Well, also it's Meow, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it's a joke. That's really what it boils down to. I don't think that OP did anything wrong. I don't think that they were trying to be offensive. Cats can't vote. There's not like they have any kind of real party affiliation. It's not like they're planning to actually overthrow the U.S. government, although cats are planning on overthrowing the U.S. government. I'm just letting you know that.
Aren't all cats kind of dictators anyway?
Yes, they are. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she supposedly has a joke.
What do brooms wear to bed?
Well, I would say that brooms don't wear anything to bed.
A sweep mask.
A sweep mask, I see.
There's even a little picture.
Well, aren't you creative? And I have Earl Grey. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for watching. Happy Tuesday, spelled TWO. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it a headline for a local newspaper.
I don't know if this is really moral advice, but survey, are cats dictators?
Survey, are cats dictators indeed? Yes, the answer is yes. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!
I'm not very good with technology, so forgive me, but I'll probably be... I'm not very good with technology, so forgive me, but I'll probably be... be doing the EBGBs.